For the last 2 years, we've consecutively hit $1 million. Best month, $152,000.
And how about your best week?
$37,000 last summer.
We prune trees, and that's our biggest income.
Finding the right people seems to be every business's biggest challenge.
Lots of training and education. That's the secret.
Best sales tip to close the deal? Don't bullshit. Don't try to make a hard close.
The first thing I look for is reviews.
It is so important if you're wanting to provide 5-star service that you know what you're talking about so you can truly deliver.
My biggest surprise is the lack of regulations.
We don't look to the industry to set our standards. We set our own standards and live up to them.
People inherently trust women more than they do men, so I think I have an edge when it comes to sales.
So can someone make good money in this industry?
Absolutely.
Don't forget to click,
Like,
subscribe,
and smash that notification bell. What we do every morning is we meet up and we discuss the job that we're going to be doing. We discuss who's going to be doing what on the job, what equipment they're going to take, and what the hazards might be, and what the plan of action is.
Can you tell me a little bit about our profit margin and why you think it is what it is?
Well, I'd really like for my profit margin to be higher than it is right now, but our overhead is really high. Our employees are paid better than industry standards. We supply everything to our employees where most companies do not. And we have employees that own houses, and I think that's more important than my profit margin.
Yeah. My goal personally is to create sustainable careers in this industry, and part of that is by making sure that they are not wanting outside of this, that their needs are met and they're able to care for themselves and their families. And I really hope to one day become an ESOP so that they're able to become shareholders with our business and provide for them long-term and not just short-term. What are the trade secrets that you'd say as far as the actual work that we're doing?
I truly believe the best method is through education and training. When I send my men out to do a job, I don't send them out ill-equipped. I send them out with knowledge about what they need to do, why they need to do it, and how they need to get it done. If they know what they're doing and they have pride in what they're doing, then they'll do it well. Safety is our biggest concern. So us educating our employees is our top priority.
And also making sure that they understand that it is most important to do things right. So if it takes a little longer to do it the right way, that is the priority. Make sure that we're focusing on always living up to the promise that we put forth.
What has been our best year?
For the last 2 years, we've consecutively hit $1 million. Our usual projection is about 10% growth each year, which we actually did accomplish last year. It was like 1.15 or something that we hit.
How about our best month?
In the last 10 years, I'd say it was about $152,000.
And how about your best week?
$37,000 last summer.
Nice. What are your projections of growth?
I aim for about a 10% growth per year, and when I'm shooting for that goal, we usually go just above.
And did you do any research to decide what to aim for?
I've been basing our goals off of what I'm hoping to accomplish. One of the things that we've talked about is I'm really hoping that we can become an ESOP in the next 5 years, and we have to double our current revenue to become an ESOP. So what is an ESOP? It's an employee stock ownership plan where the individual employees actually own the shares, so they have stock in the business. It's sort of like a retirement plan where they're able to care for themselves long term with the shares that they own in the company. I've seen a lot of other businesses be very successful in becoming an ESOP and creating a secure future for their employees.
To get to that next point, where do we begin?
So it's honing our skills, teaching all of our team to do a little bit of everything that they're good at. We have the higher leadership, it's just the middle men that we're looking for, and we've worked to bring in more people that are capable of taking on that role and learning how to do it the best way they can.
So that's where the ESOP thing will come in, because if everybody has a vested interest, you may get more motivated folks to step up.
They're able to buy in, they have something to work toward, they have a reason to work toward it, and I think it would be incredibly beneficial for everybody, short-term and long-term, and for the company as a whole.
Well, I hope you're really successful, because I need to retire.
I know. Yeah.
You see what's moving in the wind? On these two sides, those need to be shortened. And a little bit of thinning out over here, but not a lot.
Best secret sales tip to close the deal? An educated client is a devoted client. People appreciate knowledge and being provided with sound advice. Don't bullshit. Don't try to make a hard close. Educate yourself, educate your client, and your knowledge will sell itself. Kim is over here talking with Wes, who has been a client of ours for probably the last 20 years now. Why do you keep coming back to us?
You're the most professional tree workers. And I say workers, but I should say professionals. The speed that you come and the communication, the whole works.
The means of our communication is the jobber that we emailed to you. Do you think that that's a good line of communication?
That's the part where you give the estimates. Yeah, that is real handy, because we could go through and pick and choose if we don't want to do something at this moment, or later on we'll want to add this in, and that's worked out good, real good.
Yeah, I like it too.
Reviews are always very important to have. That is usually one of the first things clients are looking for, is a good reputation online. The best review you can get is a personal review. So we focus a lot on developing our relationships with our clients so that they're giving personal referrals. We, of course, encourage them to leave Google reviews and share their opinions online, but our client base is a little older, and sometimes it's hard for them to engage online. So we usually rely mostly on personal referrals.
And we get a lot of those personal referrals.
Absolutely.
I had one guy tell me I was looking for a tree company, and I was at the grocery store and decided to talk to the guy next to me and ask him whose tree company he hires. And he said Tree Lady. And then when he went to church on Sunday, he asked the guy sitting next to him what tree company would he hire, and he said the tree company. And then when he went to work on Monday morning, he asked one of his coworkers who they used, and they said the Tree Lady company. And he said, so I can't call anyone else, you know?
One of the great things that Jobber offers that helps with that is the request for a review or a response from our clients. So when we're done with the project, they'll send out an email where the client can respond. They can rate us on a 10-star scale. That is really helpful because we get the feedback without asking more of our clients than they're able to accomplish. When you're looking for a home service provider, what are you looking for?
The first thing I look for is reviews. We usually like to compare maybe 2 or 3, and then also see how to communicate with them. If they answer back quickly or they take a long time to answer back, then that's usually a sign that that's not someone to deal with.
So this right here is a sable palm. That's the Florida state tree. It's not on the invasive species list, but boy is it.
One of the tips that we use to bring in new clients is to just be present in the community. We have recently joined our local Chamber of Commerce, and it lets us meet with clients and people in the community and create connections that may not be there. My best free marketing tip is to advertise in neighborhoods where you're already working. So reaching out to next door neighbors and saying, hey, we're gonna be working in this area next Thursday. Just wanted to give you a heads up in case you see the trucks. Leaving a business card so they've got a direct point of contact in case they have any questions or concerns day of. And then when they're ready to have their trees taken care of, they can give you a call. We also use Nextdoor. It's a website that lets you interact directly with different neighborhoods. We'll oftentimes put out a notification on Nextdoor letting people know that we'll be there, and they can reach out to us either via Nextdoor or through our website to relay any questions or requests for work. I think the one that we haven't mentioned yet is creating lifelong relationships with our clients by setting them up for a pruning plan that protects their investment and keeps the trees healthy long term. We always have work to go back to every 3 to 5 years instead of creating something that's designed to fail.
I've seen trees that people have requested their removal, and I might have made $1,500 removing that tree. But being able to preserve that tree and see it every 3 years, I've probably made $15,000 on that tree over a 20-year span of time. When you look at us as a business, the percentage of repeat customers, pruning is definitely the mainstay. And in this particular site that we're working on today, 2 of the trees were destined to be removed because of their location. But with our pruning to control the canopy, we can control the need for root expansion, and we've saved 2 out of those trees. The tree industry, because it's a high-risk job, attracts really high-risk people.
Yes.
And you've done a good job weeding those high-risk people out.
Yes. Once I have the applicants in the door, I have an extensive interview sheet now where I ask every single person the exact same questions, and it really makes such a difference because you learn who actually is motivated to learn and grow and be part of a team. And it is incredibly helpful to create the same standard for every person that walks in the door. It's made a huge difference. We're always looking to hire based on people and personality, not skill set. Really, we're looking for someone who has a good attitude, who wants to learn above everything else.
I'd like everybody to want my job. so I don't have to do it anymore. Now, you're gonna see that the wife has suggested that this branch come all the way off, but the husband agrees that it doesn't need to come off. So you gotta know your customer and try to explain the best you can if you're questioned. We prune trees, and that's our biggest income. And the secret there is making sure that we teach our employees what every tree is, how it grows, what its natural architecture is, and what it needs to be healthy. Training in-house, training outside, training on the job site. It's a constant occurrence.
The way that we're able to care for trees best is by caring for the people who work in them. And by caring about people first, we're able to teach them and help them grow to provide the best care for trees. A lot of people come in, they expect to make quick money. They're willing to work hard, they don't mind the physical labor, but they don't have an upward path. A lot of companies don't focus on education, they don't focus on learning how to do things the right way. They focus on the day in and day out, just go out, get it done. And that's what we're trying to shift in the industry, is creating sustainable careers within the tree care industry.
Eduardo, nice to have you back. Eduardo was in Bolivia last week, taking care of some medical issues. Today, Eduardo, although he is going to be working with us, he's not to lift anything heavy. So everybody look out for Eduardo. What do you believe is our biggest challenge?
Finding the right people seems to be every business's biggest challenge. You look to the industry to tell you what the standard of employee is. And what I have found for us is that we have great success when we determine what our standards are, set them, and then live up to them. We don't make decisions out of desperation, we make good decisions. And it's hard when you've got a big job that's on the board and you're needing just bodies out there to get the work done.
Inherently, I trust everybody until they prove me wrong. So that was my challenge with hiring people. So this tree early in its life was raised prematurely. And when you raise a tree prematurely, it forces the outer branches to elongate and become larger than the center. But what we've learned about pruning is that once the tree has already created its own shape, we kind of have to go with that shape now. Danielle, what things do we have in place here that ensures a smooth workflow?
In our safety meetings every morning, making sure that they clearly understand the outline for the day, that we're providing the space for them to ask us questions to make sure that they fully understand. Also providing training on all of the tools that they need and listening to the requests for new tools that might benefit their day. I spend a lot of my off time trying to learn how to be the best leader. And I think that's the first step in attracting good people, is knowing how to lead them well once they get here and how to be a good, safe place for them to work once they're here. I searched online for all the different opportunities within the tree care industry to see what other people's ads look like. A lot of them are focused on pay, they're focused on, you need to be here on my clock and meet my needs and my demands at every moment. And I tried to reframe the ad for the tree care industry, and I focused on the opportunity and the exciting parts of our job and the things that could inspire people before they ever walk in the door. This is not just a labor field, that this is an exciting industry that they can join and be part of and become something within. It's just changing the way that you think about this job and expressing that.
We know that one day this property will sell and the trees in the middle will all be gone. They may preserve the ones on the outer edges, but the middle will be gone. So for now, we're leaving it for habitat.
You've accomplished a lot in this 20 years that we've been in business. What's your next goal?
Well, my very soonest goal is to make sure that I set you guys up to keep this business running without me. I need to retire, and I would like to retire by 65, but by next year, I want to go back to working part-time.
Part-time.
My whole goal is to see all of my employees succeed without any life-changing situations in order for me to retire.
Yeah. I'm really hoping that we can become an ESOP so that all of our employees will have shares in the company and be able to set themselves up for success in the future. It's a big goal for right now because we have to be about double the size that we are today. But I think we are totally capable of making it happen. We have all the right bones, and it's just being the guiding force to get us there and leading the people that we've got. They're capable of doing anything we hand their way. What are your hopes for the Tree Lady Company post-retirement?
Well, I hope the Tree Lady Company continues to offer the quality service they do now throughout time, as long as you have employees that want to keep running it. I hope to retire, but to still be available, because I enjoy what I do. I have not gotten up one day and not been happy to go to work, and I am not lying. I like my job. I'm complimented on a daily basis. I mean, who doesn't like that? Yeah, I hope the Tree Lady lives on. That would be great. It'd be cool if you guys could call it something else, though.